One of my favorite chords are, because there's many of them, the minor 7/2 chord. Ding, dong. The minor 7/2 chord comes out of Blues Street, just like we always had on the great Blues Street. We had the 1, the minor 3rd, the 5, and the 7. And there is no 2. Where is the 2? There is no 2 in a Blues Street. So, like, look at this zoning chart once again. There is no 2. Oh, there is no 2. It goes 1, M3. That's how the zoning of this town is. You have to go from 1 to M3 to 4 to +4 to 5 to 7 to 8. Can't, no other way. In Bluestown, that's how them streets are laid out. No 2s. There is a rule, a golden rule, a good rule, a great rule, that 2s are good in everything. 2s are great in everything. 2s are great in everything. And now, so with more of this brightness of this added 2 into a minor 7, yes, it's called a minor 7/2 chord. Minor 7/2, minor 7/2. Minor 7/2. That's what it's called, a minor 7/2 chord. This minor 7/2 chord is so beautiful. But first, where does it come? Where does it come from? Where does it come from? All right. It comes from the 2 that is a golden rule 2. The golden rule. What is that golden rule about 2? The second, that great second, that great second can be used as an addition to either a major 7 or major chord, just a major chord, or a minor 7 chord. It can be both a major and a minor. In other words, it can be a major town and in Bluestown, even though it doesn't exist in Bluestown. It's that cool. The 2 is the second. That is up from whatever you are. Whatever you are going up, that is the second, but it is not in the zoning of a Bluestown. There is no 2. It goes 1 to M3. There is no 2. Where does that 2 fit in? It still fits in the same place that the 2 would be, just like if it was in a major street. It's a second above the 1. I'm substituting the 1 now into the left hand. Whatever M7 I'm playing no more 1. And I was octaving it the other way. Remember, I was going the other way, like 1 whole step down. And I was making these really cool chords that were from, minor 7, just regular minor 7 chords, just showing minor 7, but octaving the 7 by going down 1 whole step. And so I don't even have to play the same letter in the right hand that I have to play in the left hand, because the left hand bass player is now covering it, because I have a great bass player. He knows what letter to play. Well, actually, in this case, all the letters. But anyways, so he's the leader. The bass player is the leader in this. So now, wait a minute. So it's kind of thin, and then I went to a substitute. All right, now wait a minute. I'm thinking about something. I still got 4 fingers that I've been using here. Sometimes it's the 5th finger. What if I didn't even go to the octave and I added a 4th note? An actual 4th note. 4th note in the guitar right hand. A 4th note, and that would be the 2. In other words, like, I did not use. What if I went up a whole step? Up. I took my thumb and I went up a whole step. beautiful that is, that 2 in there? 2, 2, 2, 2. That is what I'm talking about. Can you hear it? It's a little bit dissonant, you might think, but it doesn't. It thickens it. It makes it so nice and newly and fun and great. I think that's so fun to make that sound from this pureness or this thickness to this 2-ness. Now, wait a minute here. So I'm talking about a 2, an M3, a 5, and a 7. But remember that time that I went down a whole step and I made those cool sounds? What if I added that to the 2? And I have to bring my left hand over here to show this. Can you see this? Can you see this? Here's an A, but then adding the 2. I'm not playing the A in the left hand. I'm only playing the B, the 2, the 7, the M3, the 5. The 7 is always in there because I'm octaving the 7 and I'm adding the 2 in between there. Listen to the chord. Versus just, let's just play it without it. Which is pretty, those were M7 chords. These are the M7 2 chords. M7 2, M7 2, M7 2, M7 2, M7 2. I think that's M7 2, M7 2, M7 2, M7 2. Wait, I'm pretty low there. M7 2, M7 2. And then it's doing the beginning of, I call it the formula, or the composition of this chord. I like that better, the composition. The composition of this chord is not only an M7 without the letter, but I'm adding the 2 in there. I have enough fingers. I have 5 fingers, so I'm going to use all 5 of them now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Listen to these chords. I'm octaving the 7. I've got 1, 2, 1 M3, and 1 5 in between them. Octaving the minor 7, a 2, an M3, and a 5. A 2, an M3, and a 5. 2, an M3. Can you hear them now? Remember, I can invert.
Wanna play? Check this out.
I can invert the right hand part by, remember, in my 5-note chords that I've got right now, I can just look. I have to look for this, or not look, but I have to know that I'm not really taking the bottom note, putting it on the top, because that's already octave, because we were playing octave. That's well, it was playing octave. All right, now here's now, check this out. If I get the 7 starting out. Now the next one would be if I went to the 2 and I octaved the 2, but I still kept it as a M7. Listen to the difference. Can you hear that voicing? That voicing is different than the original voicing that I had. This was with the 7. Now this is with the 2. It almost makes a melody. And there's all minor 7 2 chords. A different inversion. Now, wait a minute. We have this inversion, then we have this next inversion, then we have this inversion. That's kind of weird because I have to go 4 or 5 really neat. But let's go to the next version. I like when the squish in between the 5 and, well, it's actually between the 2. Oh yeah, it's in between the 2 and the M3. Wherever that squish is, it's kind of harder if it's between your 4th and 5th finger. But it's nice if it's between your 1st and 2nd finger, or your 2nd and 3rd finger, or your 3rd and 4th finger, because that squish really comes really nice. Squish. Squish in between my 3rd and 4th. Squish in between my 1st and 2nd. Squish in between my 1st and 2nd. Wherever you're going, make an M2. Or whatever inversion you're keeping. The 2, the M3, the 5, and the 7. Beautiful little 2 M7 chords. Little M7 chords are so great to remember that the 2 works in not only the M7, but the MHA7. Which we're not playing now, we're playing M7, minor 7. Remember, if I'd taken this out, I'm not playing this, I'm playing the 7 instead, 7 instead, 7 instead, and then I'm finding the 2 and the M3 and the 5 and making these beautiful chords. Nice octave, 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 in the left hand, octave, 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 octave.